What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. So I know yesterday I uploaded a video showing how to beat this GM with a fire team, but I did want to do a solo flawless one on this one simply because I wanted to try out Chaos Reach Geomags with Queenbreaker and Arc Compounding plus Concussive Reload to get that weaken. So this is basically about as hard as you can make Chaos Reach hits solo, though you could run a Chill Clip weapon and use Conductive Cosmic Crystal for a little bit more damage as well, especially with Liturgy, that stasis grenade launcher. But anyways, Mountaintop is really clutch for reasons I'll get into in the run. But yeah, here you can see Steam almost pulls us out, which is kind of funny because he was the fire team leader. And yeah, huge shout out to him for bringing me in here because, like I said, I beat it in a fire team because I could just tell this was going to be a boring GM. It's 50 minutes. Granted, I play very cautiously and safely, but then I thought this might be a good learning opportunity for people to see, because lots of people say, oh, we make it look so easy and blah, 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 all these people that run solo GMs on YouTube. But that is because we have knowledge of all the spawns and stuff, where I really don't have much knowledge of the spawns. So I was taking it very slowly and carefully, as I almost die here, throughout this run because, like I said, I had to get Steam to taxi me in. So I only have one chance to beat this. I didn't want to keep making him log on to fly me in all the time. So I wanted to take my time and just be very careful. So our unstop is actually Queenbreaker because it can blind. But outside of that, we have no way to stun a champion, except for there is Retinal Burn. So if I do have Armor Charge, then I can blind with my Scout Rifle. But that's pretty inconsistent. And I'm using a build that actually uses up my Armor Charges. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I've got Font of Wisdom on and the Font of Restoration so that I can get more Rifts and have more Supers, because it gives me plus 30 to both of those for my passive cooldowns. So anyways, the opening area is pretty straightforward. Just take out the ads. So this next area, the crucial thing, and again, I don't know all these spawns, so you can see me playing pretty slowly and carefully, but the crucial thing is off the bat to take out the Thresher, because that thing will mess you up. So here it flies in, and look at how great Mountaintop is for this. Vorpal Weapon does proc on it, but Concussive Reload does not. You can see we're not hitting for yellow numbers. And yeah, it takes like 6 shots maybe to take out. So yeah, Mountaintop I knew was going to be the play simply because they have those ships. And in my video yesterday, I talked about that's why I didn't really want to solo this, because it's just annoying having to expend ammo on the ships and whatever else. But then it also kind of harkened back to the old school days of GMs where you actually had to pick your loadout strategically so that you could deal with all things in a strike. So yeah, I don't love uploading 50-minute videos of a solo clear, and I do wish this was a little more optimized for your viewing pleasure and just to respect your time. But it is what it is. I did want to test out this this loadout in this strike because I figured it was perfect for it. Because, like I said, when I was messing around with Geomags before, it was actually Void Surge. So I was really excited to try this. So there we get a blind, and here we also get close to dying because it just took me too long to break the barrier shield. But what I wanted to do was melt through that barrier with my Chaos Reach. But in hindsight, probably should have just used it to take out the ads in the first place, or done more ad management and then pop the shield of the barrier and then use my super on it. So one or the other. But there was just too many enemies for me to deal with them all at once with my Chaos Reach. So here we can see Queenbreaker does really good damage. I just want to rewind this real quick. So I think he is weakened. Did I get a Mountaintop shot on him? I'm not sure, but anyways. Oh, and I can't show you the ramping damage because our initial shot is what stuns. But once it's blinded, we're doing 15% more damage with Queenbreaker. And then if we get a weaken with our Mountaintop, that's another 15%. So 15% times 15%, I'm just going to check my calculator. That is 32.25% more damage. So yeah, really, really good. And Queenbreaker can proc that in one shot, and we can proc it with one Mountaintop shot with Concussive Reload. So here, this barrier Colossus is in a really crappy position. So we're just going to have to take our time. Like I said, a lot of this strike, yeah, it's not very fast, but it is a good showcase of how to play patient and safe. Because like I said, I was prioritizing my life over everything in this one. Definitely could have been quicker. Oh, and that's another thing, the arc compounding. Now that he was blinded there. Let me see. Because we hit for 63,000 on another shot. Yeah, so 55, 430. I missed that crit, but then the next one goes to 63, 745. Plus, that buffs all arc sources. So pulse grenades hit really hard, and then our pulse grenade was doing more damage. We have Spark of Magnitude to make it pulse a couple times more. Just really, really good. So this is all about just dealing big damage with arc stuff. Then I have the long arm with Subsistence Explosive Payload. I actually really love this because it's already got tremendous range, being these aggressive scout rifles, and the aggressive scouts got a buff last episode sometime in Echoes. So I think they're the hardest hitting scout. Don't quote me on that. But they actually feel pretty good. I'm not a big fan of legendary primaries and grandmasters. But as far as legendary primaries go, this one feels pretty good. It is slow shooting, but Subsistence helps for that, for the ad clear to reload itself. And then here I'm scouring for ammo. You always want to be topped up on ammo if you can, because there's just a lot of high health targets in this GM, which was another one of my complaints, just because, yeah, it just kind of adds to the length. And I just wasn't really looking forward to doing close to an hour-long run, but it is what it is. So here we've got a Chaos Reach, which is really clutch because there's not a lot of safe places to stand, and there's usually always a Bane, one of those two gladiators. So if you get a Drain Bane, you have to mess them up. So I would definitely recommend waiting for your super before coming over here. So now we're just using Mountaintop. It's really nice on orange bars, as you can see. So we're just chewing through these War Beasts. I'm trying to stack them up so that I can deal splash damage with my Mountaintop to take them all out at once, kind of. And then you have Scions across the way. So I actually want to take them on because if a couple of them snipe you at the same time, it's going to be bad. So if I were to have hit my crit there, I could have taken them out in two scout rifle shots, which, like I said, is pretty good for a primary, a legendary primary, especially at this kind of range. So you can see they're scoping me in here, and this is exactly what I was talking about, what I didn't want to happen. I didn't want to be focused on the barrier, so I was kind of using that as cover to take on the Scions, but the barrier did rotate a little bit. Anyways, we get the weaken, which is good. We break the shield, and then there you can see that damage ramp up with Queenbreaker. So really, really nice, big damage. I'm running Arc Holster so that it's always ready for me to go in case I forget to reload it. And then I'm also running Arc Scavenger, and you'll see we do run into some ammo issues even with that. So anyways, we can just skip those gladiators, which is nice. Here, what I wanted to do is ignore the guy that comes out, because once you pick up the charge that he drops, you... So I don't have a rift. This is my problem here. If I could have put a rift down, then I could stand in there and take everything out. But then this guy was shooting at us from behind. So we used Queenbreaker to actually blind him. And then, yeah, now I realize I just have to rotate. So this is where I should have went in the first place. Over here is much more safe to completely get away from that yellow bar that spawns and drops the charge. And then you also have way more cover. So again, this is my first time really trying to solo it. Like literally my first time trying the solo. And yeah, I was just kind of working things out. I had kind of learned the spawns in my team run, and that's also what kind of inspired me to do this, because I did that commentary. Like I learned from stuff too. So I had learned some stuff, and I was like, you know what? That Geomags build would be really fun here. So unfortunately, I missed one of the crits, but we still take them down. And yeah, we've got our Chaos Reach, which is nice, because once we pick up this charge, that's another thing I didn't know. There's actually two spawns of ads. There's one kind of to my right, and then there's one at the door right where that Centurion is standing. So we're going to take him out, but they don't spawn until you pick up the charge. So we pick up the charge. We just got our grenade in time. So we're going to nade. We're going to wait for them. So I thought, oh, I'm being so smart. Just spawn kill everything. This is great. I didn't realize about the ads behind me. So I could have flipped 180 there and still done some damage on those guys had I known. but I didn't know. So now I'm just kind of scrambling. We've got Shock Banes, which is not good because we don't have the best positioning right now. And then there, you can see my solar charge dissipates anyways. So yeah, you're probably not going to get the dunk, and you don't even want to dunk it until all of these enemies are dealt with. So the best strategy literally is to spawn 2 of those guys that drop the charges when you're solo, because it's just going to be too risky. Obviously, if you're speedrunning, that's a completely different strategy and story. But for this, yeah, that's how we want to play it. So I'm not too upset that it went away. Luckily, that Shockbane was low. We've got some Queenbreaker ammo over there, so we're going to use Queenbreaker on this barrier to get him down. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't know both spawned. So yeah, there, I didn't know he was low either. That was kind of my bad. So I waste a shot, but it is what it is. And yeah, Queenbreaker can kill in 1 mag from like full health, which is nice. Now this guy, here's where Mountaintop is so clutch. Concussive Reload, if it breaks a shield, it will also debuff, which is nice. So we break his shield with the first shot, and then he's debuffed. We have Vorpal Weapon, so we're always doing 15% more damage. And then Impulse Amplifier for the nice fast reload. This Mountaintop has been my favorite like since it came out. I just love it. It's so good in endgame content, so versatile. You'll see it on the Thresher here in a sec. I guess you saw it at the beginning. But yeah, it's just excellent. So now once we dunk, this is when the Thresher comes in. So you just want to use this as cover, which again I talked about. I gave kudos to my teammate who was standing here to take on the Thresher. Very good spot on his part, and that's where I learned that. So if we just stand there, I put a Rift down just to be safe and just so I can be more aggressive. And then we take out the Thresher. Again, that's priority 1. We're getting close to a super, which is nice. There, I throw that a little short because they were higher than me. And then I'm just like, you know what, let's just super. And this is where Chaos Reach is so nice. You get massive damage from great range. So just an excellent super, especially with Arc Surge on. And then yeah, we're getting tons of Ionic Traces to get our super back. The Ionic Traces, I also have the Curative Orbs. So the traces will be giving me, well, they give me armor charge thanks to trace evidence, but they're also giving me health, small bumps of health, because I took the tonic for the curative orbs. So there you can see I blinded that guy with retinal burn. I wish I had actually done that to the champion, but it's okay. So we're going to shoot him with the GL first to debuff him, because as soon as he's blinded, we just want to go in with Queenbreaker. So unfortunately, again, I miss a crit, so I had to waste 1 ammo there. Not the end of the world, but if I had hit my shots, we'd have been, it would have been better. And then, yeah, the pulse grenade was putting in some really good damage. So here, now we're moving to the next part. Just going to speed all this up. Oop, maybe I won't go 8 times. Get some screen tearing there. So then, again, it's just add priority. You have to manage the ads. This Legionary runs to the left, which is bad because I have to take on the Thresher, and he's like way out there. So I don't want to come out and peek because the Thresher will kill me. So I just start dealing damage from here and just using the corner of the door as cover, and then just keeping an eye on that Legionary. And then he does come out, so he's our priority because he's what can kill us. Now we just go back to dealing damage to the Thresher, just peek shooting. Again, this is where Mountaintop's so good, great at peek shooting. You don't need sustain at all. And then, yeah, you can shoot those missiles as well, which is a good way to deal with Threshers. But I would rather just use cover. So here, kind of did... That was very stupid, honestly. I should have just taken on the other ads first. Or what I could have done is... I could blind and just super here. But again, I don't know the enemy spawns that well, so I don't know if it's worth popping a super or waiting. So that's the big reason why like people that do run GMs can do them so quickly, is because they just know the enemy spawn, so you kind of just know the best times to pop your super all the time. So like I said, this is a good one to showcase where I don't know a strike very well and how I just kind of have to adapt on the fly and just do the best that I can. So now we just got to get this meteor guy down. Another, this is actually freaky, the TPing ads in this game. So look, this gladiator actually TP'd behind me and hits me just as those meteors are coming in. That was another reason I really didn't want to solo this strike, because I didn't want to die to some BS like a TPing ad, because they are horrendous. This season in general, but also in this strike, it's very, very bad. So yeah, we had hung on to our super. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Now we've got an unstop. So there, yeah, not the worst super pop, but I don't get a ton of damage in because I used it to take out the other ads first. So yeah, like I said, just not the most optimal gameplay at all. And now we are getting somewhat low on Queen Breaker, so we do want to be a little careful. So we're going to stun him. Oh yeah, and then this barrier comes out of nowhere. That was really unfortunate. And then we didn't get the stun on the unstop from when we hit the barrier. Again, we miss a crit. So yeah, that was a little messy. But we recover. That's where healing rifts are so nice. And now we're just going to go in with Mountaintop and take this guy down. See, with Impulse Amplifier, you can actually get 4 shots in there before he was going to shield, which is amazing. Normally, you just can't do that. So now we've got this annoying part. Oh yeah, and then more ads just like TPing kind of on top of me. They weren't there, and then all of a sudden they were. But here, I'm just going to speed this up because it's literally just primarying a bunch of legionaries down. So yeah, we've got this guy. He's going to drop. This is actually a little sketchy. Just the movement and the trajectory that I was moving is kind of what helped me get away there. That is one reason I kind of like strafe glide, is because you can move better in the air. But yeah, I'm missing shots, which sucks. We take this guy down, but we have to deal with that gunner ship. Because if we don't deal with that gun that's right there... So yeah, I don't know what that's about. When I'm hitting with Mountaintop, it's like moving the gun. I don't know. But yeah, I want to not let that solar charge despawn. But yeah, this is what I was talking about, how tedious it is. Look at how many shots it takes to take out this thing. And we don't get it in time. So then it's going to spawn another guy, and we just have to use a bunch more Mountaintop ammo on him. It's not that many. It's like 4 shots. But yeah, there you can see the gun finally breaks. Like I said, you have to do that, because if you don't, that gun does move to the next part where we have to go, and it will just keep shooting you. So now we have this guy, and look, he's getting stuck on there. I think he's a Drain Bane. No, shield. So yeah, this will take a couple more Mountaintop shots just because to get his shield down, it doesn't break in one go. But I do want to save my super. So then what I decided to do is just blind him. And then the problem is he puts his hand in front of his face. So then again, I'm missing my crits, which kind of sucks. So yeah, like I said, just lots of ammo, and this is a pretty ammo-efficient loadout, in all honesty, other than needing to use Queen Breaker to stun the unstop. But yeah, once we slam, now we get a bunch more enemies coming in. We've got lots of green, which is good. But yeah, we're going to use a Chaos Reach on all these guys. I'm just kind of waiting for them to push up so I can get them grouped together. And then I also don't like that the Ascendant Guards are in here. So they kind of just distract me more than anything, and sometimes they're blocking my shots. So that's another thing that annoys me about this strike. Like I said, this will be like a one and done. I did just want to do it more to show off my Chaos Reach build. And not even so much to show it off like for YouTube. I was just really curious how hard it was going to hit with a debuff from Concussive Reload. So that sketched me out too. So these enemies, they can kill other enemies. So I thought maybe that backpack was going to explode and I might die. So that's why I actually ran away instead of doing the finisher, because I got scared. But yeah, I just wanted to see how hard Chaos Reach hits. And when we get to the boss, you can see it absolutely deletes the boss. It's awesome. So here we're coming up. And yeah, just taking out some ads as we can. Again, these Ascendant Guards are annoying because they're dealing damage to the barrier, which sometimes you don't want to deal damage to a barrier because you want to be the one to trigger its shield. And now look, they're just standing directly in my way. Really fucking annoying. Yes, I know the damage helps, but when you're used to just like how to manipulate ads and deal with them, look, again, I'm hitting these guys. Don't even get the shield break there because they're in my fucking way. Like, just very, very annoying. Just not a fan of this strike at all. So yeah, these Scions you want to deal with because they'll be sniping you. So there's one on left, one on right, and then there's also those sniper guys in the back. They're very dangerous. As you can see, I took a lot of damage from that one, but I was waiting until the Barrier Colossus was killed. And now I get the Weaken. with concussive reload, and then I just go in with my super. So again, Chaos Reach, really, really good. Don't know what the heck happened. Is that where I was aiming, or was it just phasing out? Because I noticed that a couple times in boss room too. Yeah, it just kind of starts going through them. Not sure what the hell's up with that. So we should have killed that one, and then we would have even had a bit more damage for the other. Probably could have taken them all out, but again, my Chaos Reach shots were just kind of blanking, which was weird. And like I said, you will see that in the boss room as well. So we dunked the thing. Now we're going to the tank room. This was another thing I was really excited for Queenbreaker, because tanks are really susceptible to precision damage, and I can get that weaken again with my mountaintop. So this is a Drain Gladiator, one of the most dangerous Banes for sure in the game, because Gladiators are very tanky, and then Drain is just the most dangerous. So anyways, we get the concussive reload, and then we get the blind on it. 2 shots. But I shouldn't have been shooting that back leg, because it still wasn't taking full damage. So now we go to the other leg. 2 shots. Look at that. Like 6 shots, and this thing's pretty much dead, and then we just finish it off with mountaintop. Very, very good. I've killed a lot of tanks, including in the old arms dealer. I ran Celestial Nighthawk in that one. I've killed tanks a lot of ways. That was like one of the easiest to do by far. So yeah, here, long arm really shows off its power. Its power being that it can hit for good damage from range. Again, I have subsistence explosive payload. Explosive payload is excellent on like every gun, but especially this one, because it is such a long range gun, and then this even helps mitigate damage drop off even more. So like I said, if I can hit crits, it's a 2-shot to those red bar scions, which is excellent. I don't know how many exotic primaries could one-tap them, so it's pretty much like the, other than like Wish Ender, but you have to charge that up. You have to knock the bow back. So yeah, it's like one of the strongest legendaries with Arc Surge. I guess it doesn't matter because anti-barrier, so even if it wasn't Arc Surge, you would still be getting that overcharge with anti-barrier. We just get our mountaintop shot off in time. The reason I switched off that, and I probably should have a little sooner, is because I do want to save some Queenbreaker for the Tormentor. And Queenbreaker, so back in the day, before it was like, because it's got buffed, but even before that, it's just like one of the only things in the game that can blind consistently. So I actually used it in Lake of Shadows on that Tormentor, and it was really, really good. So that was another reason I really wanted to showcase Queenbreaker versus this Tormentor that comes. So again, we get another Drain Gladiator, and we're just going to pop super because we were able to push that next spawn. So we get those Incendiors spawning in. And yeah, just again, a pretty nice super. Not the greatest super I've ever had with Geomags, but it did the trick. It took a lot of enemies out. And again, that's just why I love Geomag Chaos Reach so much. It's great ad clear. It's very safe at a distance. It doesn't require you to be aggro. And it can also do amazing single target damage. And it's just an ammo saver, really. Like, we can just pop our super to kill a champion instead of shooting 5 Queenbreaker shots. And with Geomags, you get your super so often that, yeah, it really helps to save for ammo. So yeah, like I said, the reason I wanted to run this was literally I just had a fun build in mind. And just to show it. Like, also for content, obviously, but... So there, we stun the champion as he's pushing in. Unfortunately, missed my crit again. So yeah, now we're quite low. And this is just on me, because I didn't realize how many champions and like what champions were coming. So again, in other strikes, I can conserve my ammo so much better because I know what to anticipate. I know, oh, okay, there's unstops coming up. So I should just be using Queenbreaker to stun and not to kill. I can just swap to Mountaintop for the kill. Because as you can see, I'm getting like tons of green throughout the entire run. So yeah, that was just bad on my part. Luckily, we did get an ammo brick. So that's going to help us for the Tormentor that's coming up right here. But yeah, basically you could see enemies just kind of keep spawning. I still don't totally know the spawns if they're on like a timer. Because we cleaned up a wave of gladiators already, right? So I don't know if because I didn't trigger the next part, it spawns even more gladiators. And then in the next part with the Tormentor, there's a health gate thing that comes too. So this is unfortunate. I don't have a pulse grenade for here, and it would have been really nice because a bunch of dogs come from behind me, which I completely forgot about. I just thought it was the stuff in front of me, so I was getting ready to chaos reach, and then there's all these dogs, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm using mountaintop to try to take them out quickly. We finally get our pulse grenade back just in time for this shield to come down. And here I mess up. I needed to focus on the yellow bar Scorpius, which is the one in the middle. But instead I kind of take out like an honored legionary and some other stuff. So still, again, not a bad super pop, but I could have been a little smarter in what enemies I took out. Either way, we get a ton of enemies down. And now look at this. Look, I can't hit that shoulder when he's holding his hand like that. So I waste 2 shots, which is actually really critical. And then there you can see Mountaintop actually hits for pretty good damage. That surprised the hell out of me there. Big damage, because normally you just want precision weapons on Tormentors. So anyways, again, we've got the nice hipfire with this gun, and it can 2-shot the dogs to the head, which is really good. So we take out the War Beast. Again, I wasn't anticipating that spawn because I don't know these spawns very well. There's also some orange bar ones. So we're just going to use a mountaintop on it. And yeah, so now I'm just kind of kiting around. There's a Scion up there, but I do want to take out that Scion because what I wanted to do was get the Scorpiuses down, because that just opens the room up so much more. So when I went to jump up there, I was taking damage from that Scorpius. You could see it shooting. But yeah, I'm just trying to get an angle on this damn Scion. Miss my shot because of mountaintop in-air accuracy is bad. So here you can see we see the Scion. I'm just kind of avoiding his sniper shots. I didn't know that that floor was actually open. But yeah, so now we get him down. So yeah, that yellow bar Scorpius is really full on health still, so I decided to just rotate back and try to take on the Tormentor. So we break his shoulder, and then do we get an ad spawn here? I honestly can't remember. Put in a mountaintop shot. I was hoping it would weaken, but I don't know if it actually does. Now it says a champion has appeared. So it's really good I stopped shooting because it's actually an unstoppable. So again, that was just terrible. I should have just been putting in mountaintop on that Tormentor and not Queenbreaker shots. So that was a huge mistake that could have saved me a ton of time, like if I were to run this back, which I won't, but in the future, or for your guys' knowledge, because look how much mountaintop ammo I have, but that does me no good against an unstop. So I'm actually going to have to burst down this unstop with my super, which is too bad, because I wouldn't mind using my super on that yellow bar Scorpius, because it would be able to take it out really quickly and easily. So again, this is just an example of how you really want to manage your ammo properly and use your supers on the right targets. So we've got these damn gladiators, and this boss is now enraged too, or not boss, he's not even a boss Tormentor because I was able to blind him with Queenbreaker, but he's now enraged anyways, which makes him more dangerous. Now we get more enemies coming in. Again, I don't know if it's on a timer or what. That Honored Scion came back. So we take him out with the scout rifle. You can see I actually blinded him with retinal burn. And finally, we get this guy over here. So we're going to stun him. And then we're just going to go in with our Geomags, because we need to get him killed on that stun, because we have no other way to stun him. Yes, I could have got him finishable, I guess. Like maybe with Mountaintop. But anyways, it would have been too risky, because I'm on the ground, there's a ton of enemies, so we had to just take out that unstop. Only because I wasted all my Queenbreaker ammo. I could have hung on to my super and just stunned him twice if I had kept even 2 shots of Queenbreaker, but I only had 1, so that was the position that I put myself in. That was completely on me. So now there's still a ton of enemies, which I just didn't know there was this many enemies. Missing some mountaintop shots, which is annoying yet again. But we're managing, and again, just playing slow. There I actually procced that retinal burn on the, let me show you. So I have armor charge, so it's like 3 or 4 crits, and then you'll actually blind them. I wish I had known I was about to do that, because I could have ran up there and maybe pulse grenaded all those enemies, because that guy was blinded, so it was a good opportunity. But he does fall down which is good for us. Unfortunately, these war beasts kind of spread out and ran really weird, and I didn't realize there was going to be that many of them. So again, this is just very boring, but I'm playing very safe and very cautious. There I take some damage from the cleave from the Tormentor, but it's not a big deal because I was getting to cover, and I don't think he would push me over here anyways. So there, Mountaintop is so clutch for dealing big damage to those gladiators. So yeah, was able to get him finishable, which was good because he was a slow one and I was backed into a corner, so very easily could die there. Again, just tons of war beasts, but they're not really stacking up for me. Some of my pulse grenades aren't even really doing anything. There we get some heavy, and for half a second I thought about going for it, and then I saw him rushing in. I have died many times in the past because I get too hyper focused on getting ammo when I need it. Like in this case, I could really use it, so I wanted to go get it, but it's like at the end of the day, you have to play your life. And if he grabs me, I'm dead there. So that was really good for me to just sit back and live to fight another day. You can see we're 32 minutes into this. So yes, it's going to make it take longer, but I would have just had to completely start over there. The tracking on these things is ridiculous, like going up and over that thing, but luckily we bait him over like I wanted to, because he's enraged now, so he'll chase us down here. So we bait him over, which was perfect. Now we have our Queen Breaker ammo. And then I'm just getting back down low because I want to deal with the Tormentor before I even worry about like dogs or anything. So here, can't hit my shot to save my life, which is annoying. And then, yeah, we're just going to put in a bunch of damage in his chest. And then look, he's finishable. So I wasted one shot there because he actually became finishable. So that's another thing you want to know. And like I said, he's not a boss Tormentor, so he will be finishable. So here we go to take out the War Beast, but I think all these enemies will just actually despawn because now you can see those Scorpius turrets actually despawn. So that was another thing I didn't know. So I would have put my super into that guy for no reason, because if I can just bait the Tormentor back like I did, then eventually those Scorpius turrets will actually just despawn. So if you know how to play around the Scorpius turrets and just play low and not have to worry about getting mowed down by them, then you don't even actually have to kill them. So that was something that I learned in this run. So yeah, good to know. Probably didn't need to waste a pulse grenade on that because again, I've got anti-barrier scout, so phalanxes are pretty easy to deal with because we can just go straight through their stupid little shield. So now the Scorpius turrets are going to spawn. You can see we can 3-shot that with our awesome little scout rifle. This is from the Spire the Watcher dungeon, by the way, if you didn't know and if you were curious. I've kept it around for ages, never used it, and yeah, now it's become one of probably my favorite anti-barrier scout this season, because yeah, it's just really good. So again, very low on ammo, so we need to use our Chaos Reach to take out that Unstoppable, but I just want to note something. So I weaken, and then we blind. So again, we're doing 32% more damage with our Chaos Reach. And again, that's why I wanted to even do this run. You can see we still have like half a Chaos Reach by the time we take out that Unstop, which is really good because Unstops, once they become unstunned, they're taking less damage. So we actually want to kill them as fast as possible, obviously, but like we kind of need to be able to nuke them in one stun. That's why, again, I put the Mountaintop on before I stun. Because if I shoot with Queen Breaker, then Mountaintop, then Chaos Reach, it's going to come unstunned before my super actually kills it. So here, we blind this Shock Phalanx. So look at how easy he was to deal with. Literally just stands there and takes it. Here, I'm just popping this tonic that gives me health for picking up traces. See, picking up an Orb of Power or Elemental Pickup grants you a small amount of health. So I also do have recuperation on my boots. That's just because we're on Arc. Arc kind of has the least survivability of all the subclasses. Like we have our Healing Rift, but that's really about it. So yeah, this is just like a safe build. Like I said, I was just trying to get the clear, and I was playing very safe. And then here, so many people would just go right after that barrier champ. That is the wrong ad priority. You want to take out every red bar, because look, I have great line of sight on this boss here, but the problem is those guys will throw their little, right there, they'll throw their grenades. So I back up, I still take some damage, but yeah, if I could have got all those enemies down first, it would have just been much safer to just sit here. So now we do have another barrier Colossus, but we're going to take out all these legionaries first so that we don't have to deal with their little grenades. Unfortunately, I don't have a rift, so I can't really peek. So I'm just being patient. We back up, try to get a different angle. And then this isn't as ideal of an angle, but I know there's at least one, if not two legionaries still up. So I'm doing that because I don't want to get a random grenade taking me out when I was standing up there. And you could see we nuke them really well. Again, we were low on Queen Breaker, so we just use our super as an ammo saver. And yeah, we don't even really need it for the start of the boss anyways. And I needed that one Queen Breaker shot because I did remember, or I was fairly certain anyways, that one of these was an unstop. So it is. And then, yeah, we stun right away. And I just put in as much damage as I can. Unfortunately, we don't get them down super far. What I should have done was held onto my pulse grenade. Shoot the Queen Breaker first. No, I guess I should have shot Mountaintop first to weaken. Then shoot the Queen Breaker, throw out the pulse grenade. That would have put more damage in with the pulse. So now we have to use a bunch of Mountaintop ammo, which is fine because I do have a brick on the ground. So we're just going to sneak up here, get one more shot in, and I know that's going to get him finishable just from experience. So we only have 13 shots, but I knew this brick was there, and then I'd have time to run and get it before the elevator takes off. So we do that, so we're out of Queen Breaker, but we're very close to a super, which is really nice, because you just have to play safe at the start here anyways. So I run to the back. As soon as the elevator like hits the top, all those Scorpius spawn in immediately. So you have to get to cover. This is by far the safest spot to stand in this entire boss arena, as you will see. If I don't stand here, I would definitely die. But it's not a cheese spot, it's just good positioning. But it feels almost like a cheese spot because like nothing can harm me. So there, we actually get some Queen Breaker, which I'm really happy about because like I said, I really wanted to try arc compounding with the debuff with Chaos Reach. So we put the debuff on with Mountaintop, we shoot the Queen Breaker, and we go straight into Chaos Reach, and look at this melt, dude. Still have super left over, and we send them to the platform. So now there's a meatball that's going to spawn near these stairs where I'm at. So we're going to nade it right away, and unfortunately it's a Drain Bane. So then we just have to get the hell out of there. But yeah, we still put in some pretty good damage. So now here is one of those stupid ships again. And yeah, Mountaintop, so clutch for putting in big damage, getting that guy finishable right away. Because yeah, a Drain Bane, it's pretty much game over there if I don't kill that as quickly as I did. If it even had got a shot on me, plus with its drain, I'm probably dead. So yeah, you can see they still can lob grenades back here. These guys are dangerous because they go up in the air and can actually do really big splash damage. Warden of Nothing strike. You can get hit behind cover by the guys that like jump up there. So you can see there is a turn back zone behind me, so you can't go too far back. So that's why I'm just kind of playing on the edge. But look, all these enemies just siphon through, and they're just like funneling right into this little spot. And my long arm can just take them out super, super easily. So now here, this part is extremely boring. The main reason I didn't want to solo this fight at all. Look at how many shots I have to put in. That being said, I could have used Mountaintop, but I was worried about not hitting the gun. And the first time I did, earlier in the strike, it like made the ship move all weird. So I wasn't sure if it was going to like just be weird. So anyways, put in like 100 shots of our scout rifle and just keep trying to take it out. As long as you're getting those hit markers, you know you're hitting it. So anyway, it's just a matter of time, really, just over and over. And then we shoot one Mountaintop, so it must have finally been getting close. And then yeah, we shoot our Mountaintop, it knocks off the gunship, and we're good to go. So we took out all those enemies. We've got heavy on the ground, which is nice. And now there's just this guy. So same type of thing. When we pick up the charge, it's going to spawn in more. So the safest play... Oh, yeah, and there's some Scorpius mid. I totally forgot about those ones. So I actually want to keep that guy alive. until those Scorpius guys are down. So I can't really get a great angle here, but at least that ship is dealt with. So we're going to rotate. And then there was one gladiator, so it was good I rotated to see him. So now we take out the Scorpius. There's still one more. And now this guy is like completely finishable. He's like one shot, so we're not even going to waste a mountaintop or anything on him. We're just going to go up and finish him, pick up the thing, and then immediately drop it and try to kill the adds that come in. Or I guess I don't immediately drop it, but yeah, you can see those meatballs come on that side. So what I should have done was got to position quicker. So here, again, I had a TPing add, so that's where it kind of phased through. And the problem with that is with Geomags, the extension comes on dealing damage. So because he lands on that thing and I'm shooting him, but it's actually blanking, I'm not dealing damage, so I'm not getting that Geomag extension. So then I can't take out the meteor guy, where normally I would have been able to take out like all those targets. And that's just the game fucking me over. Like that's all that is just bullshit TPing ads. That being said, now that I know exactly where that spawn is, I could have gotten there a little quicker and just tried to spawn kill more before they start jumping around and moving away. So in the future, if I could kill that guy back here or kind of bait him to a more advantageous position, or even just jump up really high in the sky and get a good angle with my Geomag, that would be better. And then, yeah, spawn kill those guys before they start jumping. But you can see we already have half our super back, which is really nice if we wanted to push the boss, which I don't think we choose to. And that's just because, again, I was unfamiliar with the boss spawns, but I easily could have if I wanted to. But I was playing really conservatively and saving my super for in case some ads TP'd on top of me that I wasn't ready for or expecting, and I could panic pop. But again, now that I am more familiar with it, having made this video, I will kind of show you what I could have done. So there, those are actually allies, so I didn't need to be shooting at them. The war beasts have spawned in. So back in the day, you used to just sit back here and take out the war beasts. There's Scorpius. So yeah, just really rotate around and just make sure all the ads are dealt with. And then you can deal damage to the boss, which is what we're going to do. And I think at half, it spawns in more dogs and some more enemies anyways. So here you can see we're putting in good damage with Queen Breaker. Yeah, so we're just above half, and you can see we get a spawn. Unfortunately, if I had been ready for that, I could have just turned immediately and thrown my pulse grenade. Probably got a few more dogs, but it's okay. So what I should be doing here now is just supering. But I know there's a Thresher coming, and that's why I saved my super. Because I didn't know exactly where the Thresher comes in from. I just know it comes when we get to this next stage, and Threshers will mess me up. So I was keeping a Chaos Reach around just in case. Reach around. Just in case I needed it. But you can see Mountaintop puts in great damage. The problem is he does that bullshit where he just TPs. Then he's immune for some reason, but then he's not. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I'm like, oh yeah, that Thresher is probably coming. So that's just where Geomag would have been a little nicer, so you don't have to deal damage to him when he's on that platform. There we get the meatball spawning in, but it's the Thresher that you really have to worry about. So again, we're going to go to our safety corner, which is back here. We're going to pop a rift again just to be even more safe. You can see that yellow bar actually pushed. That's where that's what put me to half health there. But yeah, so you want to just come back here. Luckily that guy's not shooting me because the splash damage would be hitting me from back here, but he's focused on those allies. So that's really good. Even some missiles well after I killed the thing came in on me. So you got to be cautious of that. And then those Centurions, that void damage, like I said, it deals a lot of damage. So I just back up, and even though I had taken a shield out, I'm like, nope, I'm not going to peek that. So yeah, anyways, just again, being very safe, taking my time. Yes, I have a super. I could burn something down with it. And with Geomags, you do get your super so often that I could have used it a little more liberally. But again, I was being very safe. I'm checking that everything's dead, checking for ammo. The teammates took everything out. So now we pick up the thing, and again, we're going to get an ad spawn. So here, again, I'm going to use my super, hoping, and of course, he goes to that pillar. So again, a really shitty super that if I was ready and they couldn't have moved away, because he used that pillar for cover, which was smart on the enemy, but very annoying for me. Had I been a little quicker or killed the guy in a better position, I could have spawn killed all those enemies and then not having to be wasting mountaintop ammo here. Though, again, it doesn't really matter because mountaintop is so ammo efficient. And then I just really struggle on this guy because, yeah, you can see I just take huge splash damage and it moves my reticle around. And then I have the sights that make you deal more damage, so I can't shoot it in time from this angle. So like I said, I was just being very, very cautious, overly cautious, in fact. So yeah, we just use a queen breaker because that's going to blind him and it takes him out because his health was so low. But ideally, he would have just been dead from our chaos reach. We just got very unlucky. But again, that also came from me not being fully aware of the spawns. So now, again, you can see we're back to like half super, which is really good because we're going to use our super to melt the boss down. So we slam, and then here is what I couldn't remember. So I'd beat this in a fire team. Watch out, that pillar also lights on fire. So I'm just chilling here because I know Scions and Scorpius turrets are coming. I don't know if my Chaos Reach would be enough to take out an entire third of the health bar. And I didn't want to find out because when those enemies spawn in, if I do run out of super and he's still alive, you're pretty much screwed. So I'm just literally waiting. You can see the allies, look at the boss's health bar. The allies are doing all that damage for me. And then finally those Scorpius turrets spawn in, and that's what I was waiting for. So literally just sit back and wait and let the allies do the damage. You could maybe put a mountaintop shot in on the boss and then run around if you wanted to. But then you can see the boss becomes aggro. So look at this. We've got an aggro boss here and we still have Scorpius up. So we just start rotating around the map. Mountaintop, great for literally just one-shotting. Can't hit that Scorpius turret at that angle. So now we have them all down, but now some Scions come in on the other side as well. The boss is shooting at me. Scorpius turrets are shooting at me. So this was really messy, but it is what it is. But yeah, that was just like good movement on my part. And then yeah, here I'm using heavy because we need to get those things down immediately, and that will blind and stuff, which is really good. We had so much heavy, so we might as well use it, right? So then once everything is down, now I know I'm safe to take on the boss. This guy just happened to message me just as I was finishing up. So we get... Oh, yeah. So let me just show this. So we want to weaken, right, for 15% more damage. And then we want to hit our blind from Queen Breaker for 15% more damage. But then I go to throw my Pulse Grenade for even more damage, and this stupid ally gets in my way. So I hit the back of him, but it's fine. We have more than enough damage from our Chaos Reach. So again, maybe I could have just done that off the bat, because look at his health bar here. So could I do it from here? Because we still have just about half super by the time he dies. So maybe, but like I said, I wasn't willing to risk it and find out. But look at all that damage, man. That is why I love Geomag Chaos Reach. It's just so good. And then we also have the allies like doing damage to him as well. So yeah, we're able to melt him really, really well. So if you're in a team, literally don't even worry about those Scions and Scorpius. Just all have your supers ready. If you had like a T-Crash or whatever, as long as you get the Weaken and Arc Compounding on first, it's going to mess him up. So yeah, a 50-minute run, nothing to brag about whatsoever. But like I said, I thought the build was really fun and cool. And I just wanted to show off how good Queen Breaker and Geomags can be. Because, yeah, I'm getting a little sick of Prismatic, so it was fun to run Geomags and, yeah, just run some different stuff. So that was it. Hope you found it helpful and informative. And if you did, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. I do have a build video on this build if you want to check that out. But, yeah, thanks for watching and take care.